Oi boys, welcome to another video on the channel. We are back to talk NRL round 10 magic round, and before we get to the games, last week was a bit of a dud. We went 4 from 8, 2 from 8 with the try scorers with Whiten and Walker getting over. So the games that didn't pull, the Dolphins, they almost stole one off the Raiders, who were pretty shocking. The Sea Eagles got dusted by the Titans, and the Tigers, we said it would be close. Did not see them picking up the win against Penrith, and of course the Sunday game, the Dogs got over the Dragons. As for the latter, the lead the Broncos had is closing, 2 points ahead of the Sharks, Bunnies, Storm, and even the Roosters. It's crazy how close the comp is. Let's take a look at the weekend ahead. Round 10, Magic Round. The team lists just got released, and for the first game of Magic Round on a Friday afternoon, no Thursday games during Magic Round of course, and we have the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs taking on the Canberra Raiders. Looking at the ins real quick, a couple of massive ins for both sides. For the Bulldogs, Frankie Pele, Jackson Topine, Jacob Kiraz is back too, as is Maxi King. Kiraz jumping straight back onto the wing, Max King to the front row, and Frankie Pele to the bench. That's a pretty solid side, not gonna lie. For the Raiders, it's the return of Xavier Savage, and he's jumping to the wing. So they're keeping Seb Chris at fullback, and it looks like they're gonna ease Savage back into the side. They also have on the ins list Ata Mariota, and he is on the bench for the Raiders. Savage coming in for Albert Hopoate. Talk about a styles clash. You have the Canberra Raiders, who'll be looking to grind out teams, and the Bulldogs, I've been saying multiple times, are my favorite team to watch. Stylistically, they play an entertaining brand of footy. I do think it'll be close, and I do think the Raiders can grind out the Bulldogs, but I'm going to take the dog in this, no pun intended, the Bulldogs, and I like the players they have coming back. I just think they have more points in them. Let's take the Bulldogs 1-12. Game 2, we have a blockbuster between the Manly Warrior Sea Eagles and the Brisbane Broncos. More guns returning for both sides. For the Sea Eagles, it is Tom Trbojevic back at fullback. They got Brad Parker coming into the centers. They also have Doluta Okola back at center as well. Haven't seen him in ages. And Aaron Woods to the bench, as well as Ben Trbojevic. So plenty of players coming in for Manly and plenty dropping out. Jake Trbojevic, Morgan Harper, and Torfafor Sipley. For the Broncos, I'm gonna keep it real. These two ins will make me tip them this week, and that is Ezra Mam and Payne Haas, who were sorely missed last week. I mean, I tipped against them last week purely because these two lads were out. Ezra Mam working in tandem with Adam Reynolds, in my opinion, are the best 6 and 7 combo in the league. If they're not, they're neck and neck with Moylan and Hines. And Payne Haas, currently the best forward in the league, not just prop, out and out forward. Anyway, that's enough for my glazing. So the last time these two met, the Broncos dusted them 38 points to 0, and previous, back in 2021, the Sea Eagles dusted them 50-6. As I said, my tip for this one will be the Broncos. With Turbo back, there's still a lot of question marks surrounding Turbo, as he hasn't looked anywhere near his best. And I just think, on the back of some go forward, with the Payne Haas injected forward pack, Ezra Mam coming back will add the fluidity back in attack, and I look forward to Mam sniping on the kick chase. We'll keep the theme of 13 pluses running, and we'll take the Broncos by that amount. Game 3, the first of 3 for Super Saturday, and it is an absolute banger. The New Zealand Warriors take on the Penrith Panthers. Huge ins for the Warriors, Chanchindiko Klukster back at fullback, and Tohu Harris, who was sorely missed an attack for the Wires last week. He jumps back into lock. For the Panthers, they welcome back the Fish and Spencer Leniu, who were equally as missed for the Panthers in the middle. As for my tip, I've been pretty bullish on the Warriors this season, and even though they've lost a few games, in those losses they've been impressive. Looking at their previous meetings, they have not been competitive at all. They played twice last year, and on both occasions the Panthers dropped 40 on them. Their form guide, both teams are coming into this game riding back-to-back losses. My head's telling me to go with the Panthers. I kinda want to take the Warriors. If anyone's gonna know how to beat the Panthers, it'll be their current coach. But I just can't see the Panthers dropping 3 games in a row. I do think it'll be close though. So we're gonna take the Panthers. We're gonna take 1-12. I don't think they have 40 points in them, especially with how the Warriors have been defending this season. The second game for Super Saturday, we have the Cronulla Sharks taking on the Redcliffe Dolphins. By the way, I don't care if they're not officially the Redcliffe Dolphins, they're always going to be the Redcliffe Dolphins to me. Ins and outs, we got, for the Sharkies, Dale Finucane makes his way back. He'll be jumping into lock, and Braden Hamlin-Welle will be dropping out of the side. For the Finns, they welcome back Desi New. They also have named on the bench Anthony Milford and Mason Teague. That's interesting, with Ray Stone and Robert Jennings dropping out. My pick for this, pretty clear cut for me. I'm going to take the Sharks. They've won 4 from their last 5, currently on a 3-game winning streak. And for the Finns, they're 3 from 2. Based on previous outings, the Finns have been letting in points, a lot of points early. But to their credit, they have run down teams. I'll be taking the Sharks in this. I do think they'll get by quite comfortably, especially if they get off to a hot start. I am keen to see how the Dolphins will be using their bench, but yeah, give me the Sharks and give me 13+. The headliner for Super Saturday, a proper closer between the Melbourne Storm and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Match of the round for me. Ins and outs, Eisenhuth joins the bench for the Storm, and for the Bunnies, the youngster Davey Moale will be dropping out for Liam Knight. That's a big loss for the Bunnies. And otherwise, full strength side for both teams, or as close to full strength as you can get. Yeah, my tip for this game, I don't know, a proper fence sitter on this. Last time these two played, not too long ago, 18 points to 10 was the score. The Storm coming away with the win. As for the form guide, both teams winning 4 from their last 5. The Bunnies on a 4-game winning streak. Their head-to-head is pretty crazy. Of the 38 games played, the Storm have beat them 32 times. I think we'll lean that way too. We'll go with the Storm here. I guess the biggest reason for me taking them would be the bye, right? A well-rested Harry Grant, Cam Munster and Jerome Hughes. Give me the Storm, give me 1-12. Moving along to kick off a Sunday triple header, we have the West Tigers and the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Ins and outs for the Tigers, they got Asuka Power joining the bench. Tommy Talau in the centres. For the Dragons, Zach Lomax has been dropped. So they've got Max Feangai playing at centre. Mikaele Ravalawa makes his return to the wing. They've also got Jaden Su'a coming back, and Bud Sullivan joins the bench. Wow, Zach Lomax. They actually pulled the trigger on Zach Lomax, eh? Has he been that bad, though? Anyway, my pick for this game, another fence sitter, to be honest. You never know with these damn Dragons. As for the Tigers, though, they've showed some steady improvements. I think I'm being a little generous saying steady. I've been saying it's all season. They have a gun forward pack, but they've continuously been let down by their spine, their 6 and 7 in particular. Thankfully for them, Luke Brooks had the best game of his career last week, and we'll back them in this week to gain a bit of momentum. It's going to be a tough game though. Speaking on forward packs, the Dragons, they're a bit of a mixed bag, but on their day they can throw off the best of them. We saw it against the Broncos for about 70 minutes. But yeah, I've got the Tigers in this, and we're going to go 1-12. The second game for Sunday, we have the Sydney Roosters taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. Ins and outs, the Roosters welcome back Jared Waerea-Hargreaves and Jake Turpin to the bench, with Paul Momirovski dropping out for Drew Hutchison. For the Cowboys, Helium Lukey makes his return. That's great to see. Straight back into the second row he goes, and dropping out of their side will be Jeremiah Nanai and Tom Chester. As for my pick, it's pretty much do or die for the Cowboys from here on out, it seems. I have been waiting for them to kick on, but they have shown us absolutely nothing this whole season. 10 rounds in, and they've looked more like the 2021 Cowboys. For that reason, I'm going to be taking the Roosters. I think they could potentially blow them out as well. Collins has been on fire, priming for Origin. Waerea-Hargreaves has been playing the best footy we've seen from him in ages. And Smith's starting to click. I see more points in the Roosters. So I'll be taking the Roosters here, and we are going to go 13+. And to close out Magic Round, we have a game between the Gold Coast Titans and the Parramatta Eels. Ins and outs, the biggest one is AJ Brimson. He's injured and he's gone for a few weeks, I think. Not a bad fill-in though. Jaden Campbell to fullback. They have Aaron Shoop on the ins list, but he's not making the side, which is crazy. Pretty sure he's on big coin. As for the Eels, Bailey Simonson makes his return to the centres, as does Ryan Madison on the bench. They've also got Andrew Davey, a mid-season transfer, and he's jumping straight into the back row. How good is that? Davies a bit of a sleeper in terms of talent. I'm happy for the lad. As for my pick, first of all, another banger of a game. We know the Titans have plenty of points in them. Their defense, though, has been the biggest question mark of their game. They're coming off, I'd say, their best game of the season. A complete performance against the Sea Eagles. As for the Eels, they dropped 43 on the Knights, who, no disrespect to the Eels, the Knights were absolute garbage last week. It's another one of those coin flip games, eh? Their previous meetings, last year they played twice, and the Eels beat them twice in close games. I kind of want to lean with the safe pick, the Eels, but we're going to take the doggedness. We're going to take the Titans. If both Fa'aso Maliawi and Fotuaika can play big minutes again, I think they can sneak away with the win. We'll go the Titans, and we'll take them 1-12. Alright, those are my picks for Magic Round. To wrap it up, we are taking the Bulldogs 1-12, the Broncos 13+, the Panthers 1-12, the Sharks 13+, the Storm 1-12, the Tigers 1-12, the Roosters 13+, and the Titans 1-12. As per, I'll have a list of Oddski's Bakery up along with the final results. And yeah, we're going to wrap it up there. Let us know your picks in the comment section down below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later.